Hello, my name is Sydney Gresham. Today I'm sharing my observations from the 2 counseling sessions from Chapter 9, focusing primarily on the skills that the counselors used. First off, just going off of the first prompt, yes, I would say these sessions are very similar to what I imagine counseling would look like. Basically, based off of my experience as a client, most of the conversations reflected what I've experienced personally, with just a few small differences, but for the most part, yes, this is how I expected counseling sessions to look. Going into the second prompt, specifically in the first session, I noticed that the counselor right away demonstrated that solar posture, which we know is open body language, appropriate eye contact, and that slight forward lean, which I believe helped the client feel heard right away. I also noticed he used paraphrasing, saying things like, "What I'm hearing is dot dot dot," and reflected feelings with statements like, "I'm seeing some frustration," and just kind of recognizing and saying that out loud, that he's recognizing some of the feelings he was sensing throughout the conversation, and just checking in to confirm accuracy there. I also noticed he used encouragers like, "Tell me more about that," and paid attention to those nonverbal cues. Like I noticed when he noticed that she took like a long deep breath as she was talking about her work, demonstrating that she is already overwhelmed just talking about it. I'm going into the second session. The counselor again demonstrated some of those similar skills, but I noticed the second session, the counselor was more goal oriented. He reviewed the previous session right away, talking about what they talked about the week before. Also reminded the client of her goals and paraphrased while asking things like, "Does that sound right?" He encouraged the client to generate her own goals or her own solutions, helped her set measurable goals that she can achieve between that session and the following session. And I also noticed that he referred to past skills that they learned in sessions past. So he also ended the session with a clear summary. Research supports these approaches. Kadur and Ludman 2020, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but they found that paraphrasing, reflecting feelings, and encouraging clients to explore their own ideas improves client outcomes and strengthens the therapeutic alliance. So this shows that the skills I observed are not just supportive, but also effective in helping the client's progress. And as I look back and reflect on these sessions, I have a couple questions that I would ask the counselors in the sessions if I could. From the first session, I would tell that counselor that I noticed that they often paraphrased and reflected the client's feelings. So I would ask, "How do you decide which skill to use at a particular moment?" And then if I was able to ask the second counselor a question, I'd say, "I noticed that you encourage the client to come up with her own solutions. How do you know when to guide versus letting the client take the lead?" Thank you.